So this is going to be a video about changing the screen, but before I start it, I wanted to point out I'm going to be in full safety gear if I'm doing this in real life at a hot plant. I've got all my safety gear, my asphalt gloves, my face shield's going to be down the whole time, and I've got my safety glasses on, just because you never know if a little oil could spit at you or anything like that. Now I'm going to take all this gear off, and I'll explain in the video how we're going to do this. So this video, we're going to talk about how we change the screen in a BearCat Asphalt pump screen box. Very easy process. You're going to love this. It's very simple. Just want to show you a couple safety tips and explain so you're not wondering if you did it right or not. And the way we're going to do this is with the pump running. Obviously, I'm not hooked up to anything right now. I'm showing you on a clean one because that way I can show you the details and you don't have to try and see through dirty asphalt on anything. But we're going to pretend like this pump is running and we're sucking air. We're not unloading oil. Let's be very clear there. We are not pumping oil. We have our sample valve open. We're just sucking air. The hose is jumping. There's no oil moving through here at all. A couple things you want to have ready. Have your spare screen ready. Make sure it's clean. Don't set it down on rocks and gravel. Make sure you set it down somewhere where it can be clean. Have a bucket ready. We're going to pretend like this is my bucket. We're going to put the dirty screen in the bucket and have some orange juice, WD-40, some solvent ready to clean some surfaces as you work. To begin, what we're going to do is this back clamp, we're going to just barely loosen it. Just like that. You need a 5/8 Allen wrench for this. And then this front one, we're going to loosen all the way. So the reason I did it that way is because on the side of this, there's a little crow's foot over here that's going to help us break the seal on the lid. Sometimes the lid gets a little stuck. We left this down so that if there's any pressure, it wouldn't pop off. So you just simply let that kick up and you can see how it's moving. So we know there's no pressure there, everything's safe. We're going to proceed to remove the other clamp and keep going. Both clamps are off. We're ready to take it off. I want to point out one thing. Make sure you pay attention to the fact that this is a directional lid. You can see how there's a notch on this, and that matches up with that notch. If you don't get it on the right way, it won't seal. So we're going to take this and just set it aside. At this point, we're ready to just pick this up and drop it into our bucket. Of course, it's going to be covered in asphalt. It's going to be very hot. Make sure you've got gloves. You're just going to grab this lip and pull up and drop it into your bucket, just like that. And then you simply grab your clean one. Make sure that nothing's on these edges here. If there is, get it out of the way, because this needs to sit down. It needs to seat tight in there. I will mention really quick, if you happen to be changing one and there's not a spare screen available, and you're gonna go take the dirty one and clean it, okay, go clean it, go torch it, get it all ready. But while you're doing that, take the lid and just set it on here while you go do that so that it covers it, so no debris can get in there. If that makes sense. So we put in our new screen, or you've gone and cleaned your dirty screen and reinstalled it. Before you put this back together, I'd recommend taking some of that orange and solvent, spray it on here, kind of clean up this O-ring. We need this O-ring to seal tight. If it doesn't, an air leak will cause your pump to run slow because it'll be sucking air. Same with this surface. If any asphalt got on here, spray some orange, wipe it down with a rag. We want these two surfaces to have perfect contact. Now again, we're paying attention to this little lip that has to line up. We're making sure our arrow's in the right spot. It's got that little crow's foot on here, so you got to lift this up. And you're going to feel this fit tight, like a puzzle piece. It's not going to be able to move around if you got it on there properly. At this point, you're just going to raise up your clamps and we're going to tighten them down. As I'm tightening them, you don't have to make these extremely tight. They've got that O-ring in there that seals really good. But as you tighten, just double check that as you tighten one bolt, it didn't loosen up the other one. And then you're changed. One thing you can do to make sure your work was clean and good is now you can go and close your sample valve. Don't open your trailer valve, just close your sample valve and come back over here. Listen for any air leaks, because if this didn't seat properly, you'd hear air sucking through there. It'd be hard because the pump's noisy, I know, but it would be a loud noise if you installed it incorrectly. You'd be able to hear air leaking. So now you're good to use this. Well, I hope that video was really helpful to you. If you would like, click over here. This is the subscribe button. You'll get more asphalt tips, tricks, safety videos, and stuff like that. After that, click over here to watch more of our videos so you can also become an asphalt tar master Be safe out there and keep on hauling asphalt.